Yep, we're officially in the cold season here. Look at that. Everything's frosty, right? Ground is starting to get harder, and well, it's frost on everything, right? So this is where it gets a whole lot colder. So I went ahead and picked some rose hips, right? And they're from the dog rose. I mentioned those before, right? And they're traditionally made into a soup here in Sweden, and it's super rich in nutrients and really healthy for you. So it's one of the reasons why I want it, but not only for that, as I want the bush in itself acting as a barrier against, well, the wildlife coming here and eating what I plant. And besides, once they grow up, I get more of these, and I don't have to go anywhere to pick them. That's kind of, it's like the well, it's like a really old version of DoorDash, right? Or home delivery, food home delivery, right? You know, doesn't get easier than that. So, out here in the field where I made the hedge, right? I've been planting apple trees evenly spaced along the hedge here, and well, I mean, I've done it along this edge of the property as well. So eventually there's gonna be apple trees here, and along this, well, this fencing here, I've planted rosehip seeds before, right? And the idea is for them to, you know, germinate and grow, and I've been planting hundreds of them. So, well, eventually some of them are gonna make it. So well, at least that's the general idea. And on the outside of this hedge here, I've been planting seeds as well. So when this one, well, when it deteriorates, it's gonna rot and it's gonna turn into soil eventually, right? And by then, you're gonna have a hedge of roses out here that keep the wildlife on the outside, right? Because they've been, you know, munching away on the plants here. Mostly lately, actually, when we got here on, well, once we got to the autumn part of the year, right? So during the summer, it's actually not been any visits that I can, you know, that I can see at least. So, but I'm also gonna try and do it the natural way and spread these ones. They're gonna decompose, and the seeds are gonna, well, they're gonna germinate, and we'll see what happens. But I mean, in theory, that's what happens in nature, and nature knows best, right? That is, you know, without a doubt true. So we'll see what happens, but I'll spread it along the property line around this entire, well, edge here, right? So that, well, eventually the apple trees here are gonna be left alone. They're gonna have some, you know, distance to the wildlife, and well, once the apple come, they're gonna start attracting wildlife as well. So by then I want the rose bushes to be, well, fully acclimatized, I think you call it, or fully, you know, fully grown, I guess, right? So That's a general plan, at least, you know. And like I said, they stay dormant for up to 2 years, so I have to be a little bit in advance, right? I mean, everything when you live in nature needs to be done now in advance, right? Planning is key to everything you do. So, and of course, it doesn't have to be a perfect plan, but eventually you will reach perfection, or at least as close as you can get to it, you know. And there's no rush. You got time. Don't worry. So I'll just spread these along, right? Like nature does. And well, seeds I planted, they've been spread along as well, but like any fruit, I'm thinking, you know, we'll see if there's any difference to it. Probably it is. Probably is. I mean, it should be, but we'll see. And I mean, this is kind of the way they spread around here anyway, right? Birds and the animal, they eat it, and they kind of, you know, spread it through their digestive system, right? And well, it's not that much more to it, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as you get started, okay? Yeah, so I've been planting the seeds of the dog rose, right? You remember that? And well, I want it growing across the property because I like the rose hips for nutritional reasons, but I also like the plant for a variety of reasons, right? But when it comes to plants in nature, the seed in it becomes optimized well past the point where it's optimal for you to food process it, right? So when it reaches the point for you to process it for food, the seeds are not fully there yet. But well, I mean, it's not a huge difference, but when nature produces something, it looks more like this when it's optimal for planting, right? It's non-appetizing and well, you know, it's better for planting, right? So try to pick whatever you're planting as close to overripe as you can, actually, because that is when the seeds are optimized for planting. It's a lot of optimizing that one, but you get the point, right? Quick recap. So when you're harvesting seeds from anything like fruit, berries, flowers maybe, or well, any kind of seed, it is beneficial to wait until the fruit or the berry passes ripe, you know, because when it passes ripe, the seed inside of it is closer to finished for planting, right? And well, past ripe, everybody knows past ripe. I mean, it goes a little bit mushy, looks unappetizing, and it increases the chance of success. I mean, it's not like it is impossible to plant it if it's not past ripe, but you increase the chances of success, and I would say that is really good. So, choice is yours, but try to find seeds that are past ripe when you do things, right? And you can set a few plants to the side that you decide they are gonna provide you with the seeds for next season, right? And you let them grow to full maturity, and you pick the fruit or veggies when it passes ripe. That way you're gonna have more life viable strong seeds. But like I said, it's not a must, but I recommend it. All right. So if you like the content, share, like, subscribe. You know, maybe not in that order, but you know the thing. You know the drill, right? I mean, you've been around for a while, so yeah. And see you later.